Welcome back to the channel, guys. In this video I'm sharing the full engine assembly process from the very beginning, starting right when I picked up this 84mm sleeved block from the machine shop. First step, sandblasting the entire block. I covered the top and bottom carefully to make sure no sand got inside, and for the blasting I used a 50-pound Harbor Freight blaster kit. It's around $40 and works fine if you don't have a big compressor. But if your compressor is over 30 gallons, I definitely recommend upgrading to a better blaster kit for faster results. Once the sandblasting is done, I blow out all the leftover media as much as possible and clean the whole block with prep oil, wax and grease remover, wiping it down with a microfiber cloth. Why? Because that's the best way to prep a blasted surface before paint. And speaking of paint, here's what I'm using. 1 coat of primer, 2 coats of enamel, and 2 coats of clear, all with Duplicolor engine enamel with ceramic. It handles up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit and gives the block exactly the finish I want. After spraying, I let it cure overnight. Next morning, I remove all the tape and the paper plugs I used to mask the holes, making sure I didn't forget to uncover any area before continuing. And now, the real fun begins. The full assembly. Here are the parts going into this build. AEBS head studs, OEM new sealed oil pump and also O-rings, Eagle H-beam rods, Wiseco 84mm piston and rings kit, ACL crank and rod bearings plus thrust washers, NPW water pump, a racing timing belt straight from Puerto Rico and a Coyo timing belt tensioner. Also a lightweight damper followed by a Block's LS-VTEC adapter conversion kit. Real talk, guys. Almost every part comes with stickers, and I have absolutely no idea where to put half of them. One thing I do know, they're not going anywhere near the car. A G+ oil sandwich plate with thermostat and 10 AN ports. Golden Eagle LS-VTEC dowel pins and a Golden Eagle head gasket. Now you can get a closer look at all the parts I picked for my bottom end, followed by a set of VMS cam gears, a Skunk 2 solenoid cover, NGK spark plugs, Burton racing coil unplug kit, a VMS DC bolt kit, a Skunk 2 cam seal, OEM timing covers, OEM oil, pickup tube with gasket, ARP clutch and flywheel bolts kit. So let's get this beautiful assembly started by installing all the crankshaft bearings. First on the block, then on the main bearing caps. I'm doing them one at a time because, as you can see, I'm not an octopus. I also want to mention that the ACL bearing set I bought is oversized. So stay tuned because after torquing down all the main cap bolts, I'll be checking clearances using my 1/2-inch Tecton torque wrench to make sure everything is within spec. Now, a famous mechanic once said, "You're not a real YouTube mechanic unless you take notes while building an engine." So yeah, I took that personally and started writing everything down. To check the main cap clearances, I'm using a dial bore gauge I wish came from my grandpa, the Great. But nope. My grandpa was a hospital chef, not a machinist. Amazing food, zero tools. So this bore gauge, straight from eBay. Did I want a name brand one? Absolutely. Did my wallet agree? Absolutely not. Sometimes in life, you just gotta roll the dice and pray the tool doesn't lie to you. Now we're measuring the crank journals with this Harbor Freight micrometer. I asked Mr. Toyo for help, but he left me on read. So yeah, we're doing this the budget way today. Remember, taking notes of all the readings is really important. Honestly, I don't even know what I'm writing, but I guess I'll figure out what those numbers mean later on. Now we're lubing all the bearings with assembly lube I got from AutoZone. And nope, AutoZone isn't sponsoring me. The only thing they've ever given me is a $20 coupon after I spend enough money to fund a small country. And half the parts aren't even made here. Love you, AutoZone! Alright, now let's install the thrust washers on both sides, in the correct spots this time. Now we can drop the crankshaft in place. Hit the main caps with that sexy assembly lube, and since I don't have a dead blow hammer, yeah, we're installing the caps by hand like gentlemen, and then bolting them down. After lubing the main cap bolts, I start threading them in. I'm not using the impact gun here. I'm just driving the bolts down nice and easy so we can torque them properly in just a moment. With those beautiful torque wrench clicks, the mains are done and we're ready for the pistons. But that's coming in the next video. Stay tuned, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always,
Thanks for watching.